Hello, YouTube! We are doing a big green insect deck profile. We're doing Grandis, which I honestly believe is tier 1 as the format is developing, and is definitely tier 1 in BT11. If you don't think it's tier 1 now, you are entitled to your opinion, but it is definitely tier 1 next set. But I will be showing you the version of the deck that I'm playing for EX3 and what I'm doing in the deck to make it, a little bit better in my opinion. That's all. If you guys like this content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and turn notification on the smashed potatoes. That way you know when all these amazing digital videos go live. We'll start with the eggs, and it's just the 4 same eggs, just the Yokomons. When you Digiburst, it's plus 2,000. It helps get your Grandis stack all the way up to 18k, which means I can't die to literally anything in security, which is pretty strong. That's it for the eggs. For the rookies, we're playing 4 copies of the BT10 Kokuomon. It has an inheritable when it deletes opponents with better than battle. You gain a memory. That doesn't come up all that often, but there are the odd moments where this does happen, and then you choke the opponent, and then it's kind of okay. It's also really cool that it's Kokuomon, and it's a good one, because then you can just evolve it. Evolve Kokuomon X Antibody on top of it, which we play 4 copies of. When you play it or evolve it, you reveal top 3 cards of your deck and add a Insectoid or a Machine, or X Antibody, but we don't play X Antibody in the EX3 version. Being able to add a lot of your deck to your hand with this card is really good. It does help you dig, which is really good. We're playing 4 copies of Pomumon. All players can't play Digimon by effects. It's really good against Bloomlord, Justmon, other decks that play Digimon by card effects. You also still play this in BT11, by the way, because there are decks like Mastamon that still play cards by effects. So you will want to have Pomamon still. This card's incredible. It's green. It's nice. It doesn't conflict with your strategy, like how in Bloomlord you don't want to drop it on yourself. But it does help you in this deck, so it's really cool. We've played 2 copies of Terriermon because memory denial is really important. And being able to tell your opponent you can't get memory is strong sometimes. And the 15th rookie is kind of a flex spot. I don't know how I feel about it. Palmon. I'm not super sold on the Palmon. I'm going to be honest with you. When you're swinging at security with 18k, you don't really need it. You really don't need it. But what happens sometimes is you don't always have the Grandis. You might have the Grand, but you don't have the Grandis. That's when Palmon comes in clutch, because it might actually be necessary for you to attack and survive the check. And giving the jamming might help with that. But it's a 1 of. I'm not sold on it. This is literally the 50th card. You could make this a 3rd Terriermon, which is what it was, and probably be okay. That's it. That's it for the rookies. 15 rookies. Super consistent. We play a lot of rookies so we don't brick. That's the goal anyway. Champions, we play 4 copies of Weedmon. We Digiburst, gain memory. Card's incredible. We play 3 copies of Blocker Kabuterimon. It's an Insectoid blocker for 1 of evolution cost. It's a cheap evolution. That does come in handy. And yeah, it's Insectoid, so it fits. It lets you grab it with the Kokuomon. It's good. It's cheap. It's nice to have cheap evolutions. We play 3 copies of Metal Kabuterimon, the hybrid. It costs 3 on a rookie, 1 on a champion, 2 on a tamer. And when you evolve it, if there's another hybrid in the traits, you can suspend something. That never really comes up, to be honest. I don't think I've used that yet in EX3. So it's just there for the hybrid for game, or it's just there to give you an extra check. At the end of this, for the Twitch viewers, I will show you guys a strategy to play this deck that I find really efficient. And it involves this card kind of, so that's really cool. That's it though for the champions. For the ultimates, the lineup is really, really straightforward. 4 of the Kuomon that basically grants you mini Ice Wall. Every time your opponent suspends a Digimon, when you evolve on this, they lose a memory. So if you suspend by your own volition or they're attacking or whatever, you're gaining memory. They're losing memory. So that's really good. It also has inheritable piercing. Piercing is really strong. You will be suspending Digimon a lot. And usually you can have this in the stack after you keep going. So you can attack over suspended bodies with piercing and multiple checks, which is very strong. Then we play 4 copies of a Kuomon X Antibody. Evolves for 0 on your Kuomon. If it evolves top of a Kuomon, you can suspend opponent's Digimon, which is good. And then when you would evolve an insect, level 6 insect on this, you reduce the cost by 1. So it makes your Grand Kuwagamon cost 2 to evolve, which is really, really cool. And it makes your Grandis cost 3 to evolve if you have to do that. This card's broken. It's this whole ultimate lineup is pretty freaking strong. If you have both, you're usually winning the game. So that's it for that. No other ultimates are necessary. Megas. We're playing 4 copies of Grand Kuwagamon, Digiburst 2 for plus security. That's it. You can do it multiple times a turn. It's not once per turn. That's quite okay. And then 4 copies of Grandis K. Evolves for 1 on your Grand K, otherwise costs 4. When you Digivolve, you suspend something, which is good. And then end of attack once per turn. If you have Grand K underneath it, you suspend something else and then suspend it. That's how you get your 2 attacks with the Grandis combo at 5 checks, or technically 6 checks. A very, very powerful card. And if you have the full Bone stack, it can go for 18k. 18k is a very high number. It does beat basically everything in the format. That's it for the Digimon in the deck. We will move right on to the Tamers here and play 3 copies of Mimi. I was playing 4 back in BT10, but I think that 3 is okay. I also had to cut 1 for space reasons. But being able to hybrid for game or double Mimi for game or whatever, it's still a valid strategy. I don't know if I'm still on 3 Mimi going into BT11 format with Black War Gray everywhere and like Mastamon everywhere with Lucemon Chaos modes and stuff. But having the Mimi as a memory tamer and additional extending, digging, and aggression for game potentially is very strong. That's the only tamer we play. We do not play the blue cards. God help you if you play the blue cards in Grandis. I'm sick of seeing it. I hate it so much. Options. 4 copies of Green Boost. We need the consistency. We need the memory. It's very important. It's very important that you see your pieces. So 4 Green Boost, I think, is mandatory. It's also really good in BT11 because if Black War Gray is the best deck and whatever, they can interact with your Tamers, sure, whatever. They cannot interact with your memory boosts. So even if you can't stick a Mimi on the field or whatever, Green Boost gives you the memory to go off if you have an Akumon on the back. If you have the rest of the combo. So Green Memory Boost, I think, is mandatory as a 4 of. And the 2 options left in the deck, I've grown to love this card in the EX3 format in particular. 2 copies of Grandis Soul. Originally, this was Electroshocker, but I think this card is a little better than Electroshocker. Electroshocker, by the way, for 5 says balance a suspended card to hand. Alright. This card, it costs 8, and in security activates the main effect. When you would use this card, if you have 2 or more suspended green Digimon in play, reduce the cost by 2. To be honest, rarely ever happens. Main is suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then return an opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. It basically outs anything that's not like a War Gray with stack with Greymon X antibody in it. It basically allows you for 8 or 6 to bottom deck whatever you want. Alternatively, if they have 2 annoying bodies on field, you can suspend one, like bounce the other, I guess, if you have the memory to do that. Doesn't really come up. It usually comes up as a really cool security bomb, because people, if you're playing Grandis, I guess they don't expect to see this. And then they go and they just fucking go in, and then you just wipe them out. This card's really good against Melga. It makes your Melga matchup a lot better, which I already think is already a fine matchup, but Grandis Soul helps a lot. This card's only real bad matchup is the Greymon X decks. But I like this card. It's grown on me. I do recommend you give it a try. That is it for the deck profile for the EX3 portion. Let me know in the comment section below, and have a nice day. Goodbye.